You must cradle with care in the chase to be first in the Book of Unlimited. Team Johansen steps into this final week relying upon strikes from the fastball of Courtney Fortunato. The steady hands of Team Apuzzo work in tandem with Lauren Gilbert and her remarkably quick feet. So kick back, but stay on guard with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN. You're watching Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN, presented by our official sustainability partner, Aspiration. Tonight, the captains leave their calling cards at USA Lacrosse headquarters, where the team led by Amanda Johansen is prepared to deal with Team Sam Apuzzo. It is great to see you again. Alongside Courtney Martinez, Connor, a five-time national champion at Maryland, I'm Joe Beninati. It's the final week of the season. Time to empty the tank. So how should top-ranked players approach this game?
When you look at these players on the field, everyone wants to win, but the best way to do that is playing team lacrosse. So I do expect for a lot of people to work together, but ultimately they're going to want to do well individually, statistically.
If you're new to Athletes Unlimited, where have you been? We can help you with the lay of the land in this league. 56 of the best players in the world are competing for one individual championship. Teams of 14 that change in all 4 weeks, and Court, the scoreboard changes rapidly in a unique way.
Every quarter matters, not just the score at the end of the game. Statistically, you need to do your job on the field, and you need to make sure that others are noticing, because you can be voted as an MVP at the end of each game. 3 are voted each and every time.
The Week 4 captains have been the model of consistency over the last month. Amanda Johansen is never far from the top of the leaderboard.
Amanda Johansen, it's amazing her story. Season 1, she started out as a facilitator, ended up on the field after her injury subsided, and then she started off really strong in Season 2. When we look at her on the field, she's a true two-way midfielder. She can be flashy when asked, but as you look, her work, unselfishness is, I think, the best part of her game. This nice little pick and slip inside, finished with an easy goal, but she is a leader as a captain.
She presents a great target inside the enemy defense. Her all-around performance has her ranked number 3 as we start play tonight. Over 2 seasons of work, Sam Apuzzo has been the best offensive player in this young league's history, and she is likely the favorite to be number 1 by Sunday.
Her teammates and those who are her opponents have voted her as one of the top players who they expect to finish at the top of the leaderboard, but it's because of her fighting competitiveness. She has a tremendous spirit on the field. She's a threat all over, but what I think she finds the best home for her is around that goal circle. She finds the right time to cut. She knows when and where to catch that defender off guard, and she is a true finisher who is sneaky around the crease.
She has scored a point in every game she's played in her time with Athletes Unlimited, and they're usually big points, as she currently stands number 2 on the leaderboard. We have a lot of conversations with players during the game, several of whom are mic'd up to go into the game with Air National Guard. Caroline Wakefield is today. Hey, 2-3, you and your mates have played a lot of lacrosse the last 3 weeks.
Hey, Joe.
What's it going to take to finish up strong this week?
Honestly, playing together at this point, can't do it by herself individually. We haven't seen much success, but I've been on orange the last 3 weeks. Team Apuzzo comes out grinding. If we come out strong and work together, we'll hopefully win one. Win all 3 of them, actually, this weekend.
I only thought you were talking to yourself.
Caroline, I had an opportunity to speak with your collegiate coaches, and they said anytime you're wearing a mic, good things happen.
That's right.
And we expect that to continue. Thanks for joining us.
Of course, thanks, guys.
We'll be checking in with you. The officials today for game 19 of 24 this season: Lynn Bowers, Ronnie Anton, Devin Holcomb, and Kim Kramer presiding over this battle. Team Johansen in the blue, Team Apuzzo in orange. And we are off and running. Dempsey Arsenault looking for the draw control. Ball stays down on the carpet. And finally pops loose for Lauren Gilbert. Draw control gets you 2 points on your leaderboard total. Teams of 14 in Athletes Unlimited. We play 10 against 10. 6-on-6 at the offensive end. There is a 60-second shot clock in Athletes Unlimited. Temperatures today, Courtney, rather nice day in the mid-80s.
You know, one thing you immediately notice from the very start of the game, Sam Apuzzo has already put herself at the draw control. good things have happened when she's at the draw circle. She changes out the stick, but she means business. She wants to win this league.
Good defensive stand there for Team Johansen, protecting the netminder Kaylee Waters. As Becca Block will roll through midfield, block the outstanding cover defender in Athletes Unlimited. Shape it up here for Scotty Rose Growney working in, dealing with Lizzie Colton, another ferocious cover player. On the outside, Mastriani to the split dodge from right to left as we're halfway through the shot clock. Looking for the game's first tally in the opening 2 minutes. We play 4 10-minute stop time quarters in Athletes Unlimited. Fortunato, who has really heated up the last 3 weeks. Courtney Fortunato playing a two-person game now. Shot clock's at 10. They get Johansen involved. She was looking into the setting sun there. Amanda chasing it down at the midline. Can't go over and back. This is going to wind up being a turnover. And a chance for Apuzzo to work offensively. Grace Griffin brings it along. Back behind the cage, there's the captain, 14 in the orange. Sam Apuzzo, who placed third in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse in the inaugural season last year. Taylor Cummings, former Tewaaraton Award winner, was the inaugural winner. Apuzzo fires, great save by Waters. Fresh 60 for the team in orange.
As Athletes Unlimited has progressed here in season 2, we've seen a lot of great, not just saves from our goalkeepers, but defensive stands. Defense really realizing the matchups that they have and have been capitalizing on setting up different defensive players on particular attackers. And I think it's important to have strategies within this game.
Gilbert lets it go. Another save for Waters. For every save she makes, adds 6 points to her totals. She has 2 so far today, and this is a player who really climbed on the leaderboard from week 3 until now. Still scoreless, approaching the 3-minute mark. There's an 8-meter key in Athletes Unlimited. You score from beyond that, you'll get 2 points for your team, 16 for yourself. Apuzzo, an assist maestro. Oh, by the way, she's the first ever 50-goal scorer in Athletes Unlimited history. O'Donnell plays catch with her captain. There's the feed inside. Score! Grace Griffin.
Complete patience from Team Apuzzo in their offensive set. The first shot saved by Kaylee Waters. And as they balance things out, sharing the ball, we talked about that being the key, and you heard it from Caroline Wakefield before the start of the game. Sam Apuzzo, again, where she's most comfortable behind the goal cage, this time not cutting, but she had vision on the field. And Grace Griffin, she was the benefactor of this feed cross post. She put it nice and high. Grace Griffin's a taller player, so able to use that reach, bring it down with a nice quick stick. That means she's not cradling the ball before she gets her shot off. She doesn't want to allow that defensive player, the goalkeeper, to have a chance to get a stick on it.
Set up well by Sam Apuzzo was Grace Griffin for every assist during this year's Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse season. Aspiration will be planting 10 trees heading into this week. Almost 1,400 that have been committed to. We thank Aspiration for its support. Back inside the draw circle now as we prepare for the resumption of play. Early stages of the opening quarter. Game 19 of 24. It's the first of a double dip. This is Team Johansen against Team Apuzzo. In the nightcap, the battle of goalies comes your way over on ESPN2 when Taylor Marino squares off with Katie Glynn.
I think when we have draw takers who are obviously using draw sticks, and someone like Sam Apuzzo, the captain of her team, she wants to be involved offensively. So I wouldn't be surprised if the fast break isn't there, that they continually look to slow things up and find those mismatches.
Gilbert, well played there on the perimeter by Kira Pelton as O'Donnell maneuvers inside the 8-meter key with 20 seconds to shoot. There are 20 points available for the team that wins the quarter. Great trail check there by Johansen. Almost caused the turnover. Out of the pack comes Dempsey Arsenal. Flash cut to Apuzzo. Apuzzo fires and scores! Sam Apuzzo.
Sam Apuzzo always just seems to find herself in and around the ball. Her collegiate teammate Dempsey Arsenault, her eyes were up as Sam was being actually marked tightly behind the goal circle. However, she still managed to get a step on her defensive player, Becca Block, right there. Last year, she was the Geico Defensive Player of the Year. She is difficult to beat. And Sam Apuzzo, it was all about timing and getting a step on that defensive player.
Courtney, this season there'll be an all-defensive team. Midfielders, goalies, and defenders were eligible. There will also be a Geico Defensive Player of the Year named on Sunday. When we conclude matters, there'll be one champion. 4 players will receive medals. There's Dempsey Arsenault. Team Arsenault was the only team to ever keep Sam Apuzzo off the scoreboard. Couple of goals in less than a minute. Apuzzo strikes again, and it's 2-0. Off the draw control, it's Kelly McPartland, wearing 6 in the blue today for Team Johansen. As we near the midway mark of the opening quarter, another sun-splashed day here in the Mid-Atlantic. We are at USA Lacrosse headquarters. There's a shot to cage, fought off by Britt Reed with a ball down. Reed makes her first stop of the contest. Johansen looking for a ground ball scoop. That's worth 2. As she's chased by Apuzzo. It bounces free, and Griffin will go 6-on-6 offensively. Time of possession has been definitely in favor of Team Apuzzo.
Not only have they possessed the ball more than Team Johansen, but they've won more draw controls. And generally when you're winning the draw, obviously you possess the ball if you can translate that into goals being scored.
2-0 advantage for Team Apuzzo. Sam began the day close to the lead on top of the Geico leaderboard. You're going to be seeing that to the left side of your screen throughout the day and night. As we just crossed the 5-minute mark of this opening quarter, a chance for us to step away. We'll get you back in just a few moments. It's a flying start as usual for 14 in the orange and her mates. Back to Sparks, Maryland, right after these words. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN is brought to you by Aspiration, the global leader in sustainability as a service. Charm City, Baltimore, Maryland, about 20 miles away to the south. Team Apuzzo in the chase for those 20 points for winning the first quarter has the 2-0 advantage if you're just tuning in. Goals from Griffin and Apuzzo on the board early on. Court back on Monday. We had the 4th and final Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse draft, and Charlotte North was taken number 1 overall.
Not surprised with Charlotte being taken early. She is a generational talent, and when she has the ball in her stick, the ability to shoot 2s is unmatchable. And then you look at the midfielders, they have to run back and forth. So you want to get those middies nice and early, especially the ones you think best work within your game plan.
As the 4 captains chose their teams of 14. On draft day, you have to select 4 attackers, 4 midfielders, 4 defenders, and 2 goalies. And to be quite honest with you, Court, Sam Apuzzo waited almost forever to take Britt Reed, her goalie. She was not selected until the 43rd pick. And there's part of me that's sitting there going, boy, I might have been able to sabotage Team Apuzzo a little bit if I took Britt Reed earlier, if I were one of the other captains.
You know, all of these players know one another so well, whether it's collegiately or playing with the international and or U.S. team. And I think we just have a nice group here. And they realized that they wanted Britt Reed to be playing on the field as opposed to sitting on the side. Speaking
of lacrosse, we have a Premier Lacrosse League action coming up from Zions Bank Stadium in Utah. Atlas and Whipsnakes. That's tomorrow, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, followed by Water Dogs and Redwoods. Then on Saturday, Chaos and Archers, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Then Cannons and Chrome. All 4 games exclusively on ESPN+. For Atlas, you have to watch out for Jeff Teat and Dox Aiken. Dox is actually Scotty Rose Growney's cousin. 2-time national champion was Dox Aiken at the University of Virginia. Kaylee Waters and her crew dressed in blue. That's Team Johansen against Team Apuzzo in orange. As we're a little bit more than halfway through the opening frame on a gorgeous Thursday night in Sparks, Maryland. Just 1 shot taken so far by Team Johansen. Mastriani looks to change that now, working in against Griffin. Swing it back behind the goal. Fortunato accelerates topside. Fortunato marked by Wakefield. On the flip, Mastriani lets it fly, and that one stabbed by Britt Reed. Her second stop of the night at shoulder high. An easy clear ahead. You have 20 seconds to clear the midline in Athletes Unlimited. O'Donnell sprinting inside that 8-meter key. Kick it to Apuzzo, covered up by Block. Those two on the Team USA Women's World Championship gold medal squad about 5 weeks or so ago. Ground ball here off the deck for Dempsey Arsenault. Whenever she's available for Team Apuzzo, Sam makes her part of the roster. They're the best of buds. Apuzzo working in, Block makes the stick check. Here comes help from Pelton. Shot clock's at 20. O'Donnell thinking two. She's never scored a 2-point goal in her career, 9 in the orange. Apuzzo has a couple last year. She fired. Waters confidently makes that save.
Well, that's Kaylee Waters' third save. I think the defense in front of her is doing a great job. That double team by Becca Block, as well as I believe it was Johansen, possibly Kara Pelton, working together as we watch right here. Defensively, when you make any team take a shot from the outside and your goalkeeper has a lot of time to have her eyes on the ball, good things happen, just like in that save right there for Kaylee Waters.
Unsettled situation. There's Waters leaving the cage. Kaylee, among the netminders, leads the league in terms of caused turnover points that she's received. She's being tracked down by Apuzzo on the ride, and she hits the open defender there, Meg Dowdy. Dowdy, so appreciative of the way Athletes Unlimited has put these great players on a pedestal over her 2 seasons in the league. Geyer's back on the outside, picked up by the Honey Badger. That's Ella Simpkins, 26 in orange. Geyer's back, fires Reed way out of her cage as usual. She plays an extremely high arc. Clearing time with just over 2 minutes left. Remember, 20 points are on the line for the team that wins every individual quarter tonight. 45 points when your team wins the game for all 14 players on the roster. Apuzzo in no hurry now. Aurora Cordingley, University of Maryland standout. Transferred there from her time at Johns Hopkins, not far away. Gilbert, the rookie, leading the league in goals out of Northwestern. Kerrigan Miller with 20 seconds to shoot. Griffin will sweep. Bluffs it for Cordingley. They look inside. That was jumped beautifully by Becca Block. She read that play perfectly.
You know, I would say she was almost baiting the offense to feed that ball into Sam Apuzzo because she was ready and waiting to get that check off.
McPartland, latter stages of the opening frame now, 75 seconds with which to work. Left side of the screen, you're seeing the leaderboard up to the minute. These are cumulative totals over 4 weeks of Athletes Unlimited play. Team Johansen slowing the pace. 28 seconds on the shot clock, just under a minute and a quarter. Fortunato skipping on through. Geyer's back against Simpkins. Fortunato thinking two, sprints around the key. 12 seconds to shoot. Scotty Rose Growney had it cradled but lost it there. She was transitioning to fire away. 6 seconds left. Simpkins with a caused turnover, and that's as good as scoring a goal in Athletes Unlimited. You get plus 12 when you do that. Miller here, 25 seconds remaining in the quarter. Shot clock turned off. Miller going to goal. Trail check by McPartland. Cordingley, so nimble back behind the cage, changing direction on Dowdy. Feeds, O'Donnell fires, she scores! Katie O'Donnell.
That was a picture-perfect slow break for Team Apuzzo in their orange jerseys. They've started off strong so far here in this first quarter. As you watch Aurora Cordingley, she was patient with the ball in her stick. She waited for that final trail cutter. That was the one who was wide open. Katie O'Donnell defense a little bit slow to recover defensively, but that certainly created an opportunity for Team Apuzzo.
Appropriately enough, you saw O'Donnell after she scored. She turned and pointed right at 40 in the orange. Thank you, she's saying right there in the middle of that celebration. 3 unanswered goals in the opening quarter, going to win the opening frame for Team Apuzzo. That squad, whomever has been captained by Sam throughout this summer, has a fantastic 1-loss record. She's 8-1 as Apuzzo in games this season. O'Donnell now with tallies in 7 of her 10. As we look for one final draw control, why not 2 more points for Apuzzo? 8 seconds left. Apuzzo, 2-person game with Gilbert. O'Donnell just chilling, and that's going to do it for 10 minutes of play at USA Lacrosse headquarters. Everybody in orange just earned 20 points for winning the first 10 minutes. We are done with one. We'll get you back to Sparks, Maryland in just a few moments. Grace Griffin and her pals with a very solid opening quarter. Domination, if you will, for Sam Apuzzo's squad, including the captain, putting her own name on the score sheet. Settling in this late Thursday afternoon for Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 2 action from USA Lacrosse headquarters. You see Team Apuzzo banking those 20 points for winning the opening quarter by a 3-0 score. Let's transition a little bit from the promo department. Top flight of Spanish football. La Liga season kicks off tomorrow, and on Saturday afternoon we'll have Barcelona and Rayo Vallecano on ABC, ESPN Plus, and ESPN Deportes. Our coverage begins 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Pacific, with a 3 Eastern, noon Pacific kick. Over the course of the season, all 380 La Liga matches streaming on ESPN Plus. As you know, throughout an Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse season, we have the players mic'd up for you. You see Caroline Wakefield there in the middle of the huddle. Let's go into the game with her and Air National Guard.
Nothing like being orange every single weekend. That's like your whole life, right? I actually do kind of love it. I think I look good in it. I'm a little sad about it, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a glass half full, so I'm like, we still have 2 games left. It's sad because it flew by, because I feel like last time, by week 5, we were all like exhausted. Yeah. What do? I just took the ASU coaching job, so I'm an assistant. Yeah, new job, new everything. Give me that good stick back. Good job. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was sick. Oh my gosh, guys, wow. Oh my God. Hey.
Caroline Wakefield wants to speak with wardrobe, huh? Orange every week, week after week?
I just love listening to her. Her energy on the field, her excitement, and the fact that you just never know what she's going to say. She's going to tell it to you like it is. Honesty. Which
can make things very interesting for the guys and gals in the truck who are tracking her mic throughout the night. She is terrific, though. 3-0 advantage for Team Apuzzo. Goals from Griffin, Apuzzo, and O'Donnell. The draw controlled. 4-1 now for Team Apuzzo over the first 10 minutes plus. On the run, this is Arsenault inside the 8-meter key. Covering her up was Kira Pelton. Pelton, who played collegiately at Stanford. Kira just loves the Exploratorium out in San Francisco. Lauren Gilbert backpedaling away from the pressure. Gilbert says she's grateful to Kelly and Scott Hiller for taking a chance on a girl from Oregon. She has more than proved her mettle, has Gilbert, in this her rookie pro season. Apuzzo on the delay, feed it inside. Griffin turns and fires. That was rejected in front. Mastriani was there, does a little bit of everything at her midfield position. Dowdy forcing the turnover. Meg Dowdy, former National Defender of the Year out of Maryland. Another off of the victorious Team USA roster. Geyer's back, who knows a little thing or two about championships. She's fresh from the NCAA title-winning Tar Heels this season.
Not only is she fresh from the championships, but she was the most outstanding player announced. She had 5 goals in their semifinal win, 8 goals overall, and she was just unstoppable on the field for each of those games. She was a transfer and just fit in seamlessly when she went to the Tar Heels.
Geyer's back, lets it fly. That was potentially a dangerous follow-through there. Simpkins was hit up high. The officials let him play. Shot clock's at 12. Angling in. Scotty Rose Growney for Fortunato, who likes the 2. She fires, and it's turned away by Reed. The follow-up chance. It's a fresh 60 seconds there on a shot closest to the ball where and when it leaves the field. Maintains possession for Team Johansen in blue.
You know, now is when they can take a breather. You don't need to rush. You just have a fresh shot clock. There's no need to wait.
Mastriani's not listening to you. She hums one high and wide. Backed up on the end line by Geyersbach. Feed it to the interior. Flex it outside McPartland. Work it down low. Bounce shot goes wide. Team Johansen has missed its first 7 shots on the night. Ice cold offensively. Almost 3 minutes into the second quarter. Mastriani on the go. Deliver. Johansen for 2. That one rattles off the post. It had Reed beaten. Johansen is one of the all-time league leaders in 2-point tallies. The captain has it outside the key. Skip it on around, move it quickly for Scotty Rose Growney, and then Kelly McPartland. Just over 7 minutes with which to work in the opening half. Mastriani, we understand she's playing somewhat limited this week. That usually means they curtail their practice reps. Geyersbach wants the ball on the inside there to her left with a nice roll. She sent it wide.
When you think about players like Ali Mastriani, she was one of the draftees. She's been playing since January nonstop. So from January, her collegiate season, to then USA World Championships with Team USA, where she won gold, and then now here to Athletes Unlimited. And she's been an important part of the midfield, whatever team she's been selected to.
Johansen well defended there by Arsenal. This is going to be a shot clock violation against Team Johansen. Team Johansen has misfired on its first 10 shots today. O'Donnell has one of the goals for Team Apuzzo in orange. She's going to the cooker again. Trail check there. Dowdy was helped out defensively by McPartland. On the scoop, coming up with it, a newcomer, 51 in the orange. Andy Aldave is an injury substitution for Jamie Ortega.
As we look at that crossbar, it's a goalkeeper's best friend, Britt Reed, thankful as that was yet another saved shot, a potential goal from Team Johansen. The defense, we're talking a lot about Team Apuzzo's offense, but their defense is just as stellar right now. They're doing something a little different, pressing out, not giving a lot of space to their attackers.
Arsenal works in on the flip with Gilbert. The return pass was deflected by Johansen. Excellent defense there by the captain. She overruns the ground ball. Arsenal only has 4 seconds to shoot. Float it for O'Donnell. Feed it inside. Score! Andy Aldave with her first as a pro.
This one was down to the wire, but they look calm, cool, and collected in those orange jerseys. Kaylee Waters, I like that she was looking to take a risk. This was the unfortunate side for Team Johansen, overrunning that ground ball and then moving the ball quickly. You had Arsenal to O'Donnell, and then Aldave putting herself in the all-important position to be a finisher, and where better than that than right in front of the goal cage.
Aldave, who was in the stands as a spectator last week, was chosen in round 6 by team captain Sam Apuzzo. Her put away from point-blank range gets her first as a pro. No stranger to goal scoring, though. Multiple goals in 15 of 22 games in her grad season with North Carolina. 51 tallies in total with the Heels in 2022. It's all Team Apuzzo as we near the midway mark of the second quarter. Apuzzo banked the 20 points for winning the opening frame. There are 20 points on the line for all members of the roster that win each individual quarter. Draw control, Grace Griffin. Simpkins will bring it along. And Aldave, who actually rooms with one of the enemy players tonight in this contest. Sam Geyersbach is her roommate in Chapel Hill. Remember, they both transferred in at the same time to Jenny Levy's squad. Aldave hanging out behind the cage, picked up by Johansen. Gilbert with the lightning quick feet. Pelton gets that assignment. Here comes the double team help from Johansen. Move it again. Aldave just snapped it wide. Backed up on the end line as we have a timeout on the field with 4.5 to go in this opening half of play. Team Apuzzo in the orange has taken command of this game. Kayla Wood, oh to be young, injured in week 2, ready to go for week 4. We'll chat with her in just a few moments on ESPN. Folks, it's a 4-0 lead for Team Apuzzo in the second quarter. And we let you know about the Unlimited Club, which provides great benefits, including a chance perhaps to vote on league decisions, interactions with the players, potential to grab some signed autographed items, and more. For more information or to join today, be sure to go to auprosports.com. Folks are checking out the merchandise tent as we have a chair chat with Kayla Wood. And Kayla, I teased this on the way to break. If I had your injury, it would take me about 5 months to be ready to go. You were injured just 2 weeks ago. You're telling us you're feeling fine. How will you be when you get in there today?
Well, actually, to correct you, Joe, I feel great.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of rehab, been training my mental, so I'm getting ready to go and go into the game and just can give, whatever I can to my team.
Kayla, I know you're not in the huddle with your team right now, but I'm sure you know the message that's being given. Can you give us an idea of what that might be?
I think we're getting the looks. The ball may not just be bouncing our way, but we just got to keep hammering the nail. Keep going after the ball, keep taking shots on goal, keep coming up with it on defense, and eventually, we'll be able to get the ball in the back of the net.
Kayla, you just said the magic word, defense. It's your specialty. When you're up against a player like Sam Apuzzo, what's the most important thing to be doing defensively?
It's to get the ball out of her stick. She has great vision. She's really great 1v1 dodger as well, so we really want to get the ball out of her stick. And obviously, try to cause a turnover and make other people try to go to the cage.
Kayla, last question here. This is obviously the final week, 4 weeks here in season 2. How has it felt being a player this time around?
Same as last time. So much fun, just really grateful to be here. It's just a lot of great women here, great athletes. So it's really amazing to be able to be a part of the best of the best.
Kayla, we appreciate it. We're really glad you're a quick healer. Thanks.
Thank you.
Kayla Wood, injured, didn't play in the 3 games last weekend. Kaylee Waters sure did as she makes her way back to the cage. Waters, in fact, climbing some 18 spots on the leaderboard with her handiwork. This is a player who finished as the runner-up in Athletes Unlimited's inaugural season to Taylor Cummings. Team Apuzzo has the ball in orange. O'Donnell getting some momentum against Johansen. Nice catch by Apuzzo on the end line, covered by Becca Block. Gilbert off the face dodge, not fooling Pelton, with help from Johansen. Every time 3 Orange gets it, they're sending a double her way. As we will see the turnover now, back to Team Johansen in blue.
I like the strategies that they're applying, but just as we heard from Kayla Wood, they need to make sure that they're translating from the defensive end to the offense. Anytime you have the ball on attack, you want to make sure you're getting a quality shot on goal. And obviously Britt Reed has some saves, but some of them have been easy for her. So you want to challenge the goalkeeper and see what she's made of.
Courtney, the personnel changes week to week. Every Monday there's a draft as Geyersbach looks to fire on Reed. That trickles to the end line. The personnel is obviously different for Team Johansen, but Amanda's squad was 3-0. Great passing play. Geyersbach with a layup, getting Team Johansen on the board.
I'm not sure if this has ever happened. I know it hasn't been here in season 2, but every single goal has been assisted thus far in today's game, all 5 of them. Excellent effort by Scotty Rose Growney, hustling after that ground ball, and then her awareness to take that and translate it into a quick offensive set right after bringing the ball in from out of bounds. Usually you want to relax, but she knew that she had a step on her defensive player, Ella Simpkins, and then Sam Geyersbach cutting to the opposite side of that goal circle for a nice quick little pass and finish as they give themselves the first goal of the game for Team Johansen.
Backup netminder Mira Shane on the sideline, all fired up. Sam Geyersbach was thrilled with an opportunity to play in Athletes Unlimited. She said, I didn't realize how much I loved lacrosse until I thought it was over. And then Athletes Unlimited paid her the call. Finally, Team Johansen ends its shooting drought, now 1 for 12 on the day. Round and round we go, looking for draw control. Amanda Johansen says, I'll take that, and the 2 points that come along with it. There are 20 points available for whomever wins the quarter. Right now, it's a 1-1 score. If we're tied at the end of any 10 minutes, those quarter points carry over to the next frame. Shayna Parekha is a 2-point threat, 41 in the blue, a wicked outside shooter. Geyer's back, plays it on. Mastriani steps to the middle, measured there by Dempsey Arsenal. That's a great matchup, straight up. 20 seconds to shoot, 2:45 in the quarter and half. Fortunato on the hop, thinking two, she scores! Fortunato from behind the 8-meter key.
I like how Team Johansen, it was almost like they were lulling the defense to sleep. They were patient, they were moving the ball, they were checking their different mismatches that they potentially had, and we see that Caroline Wakefield is a bit of a distance off of Courtney Fortunato, and she does have the range to shoot a two-pointer, and as we see her winding up right here, her foot is well outside of the line, and not only did she catch the defender, but she caught Britt Reed, the goalkeeper, by surprise. We see that quick little wind-up right here. Excellent release and placement on that two-pointer as they've now closed the gap to just one.
And instantly take over in this quarter, 3 points to 1. The sizzler from Fortunato beats Reed. Courtney Fortunato has goals in her last 8. Here's Lynn Bowers with the explanation.
This was an official's review, so we can confirm whether or not that was a 1 or a 2-point goal. We had initially signaled a 1-point goal. However, under further review, it is a 2-point goal.
Lynn, thank you. Courtney Fortunato had 3 of those last year. She now has 3 2-point goals this season. When you do that, 2 points for your team and 16 for yourself, as Fortunato, who started the season slowly, only had 1 goal in the first 3 games. Look at where she stands right now.
You know, she definitely exploded offensively. When you're feeling it, you have the hot stick, you want to carry that through. And she has certainly done that. I think elevated her game from early on in the season to beyond now that we're in week 4.
From the draw, Andy Aldave, 51 in the orange. Just again, for those of you who've been with us and haven't heard the name Aldave, she is an injury replacement. Rookie Jamie Ortega's Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse season is done. Will not be playing in this weekend's game starting this Thursday night. So Aldave has the ball. She's already on the board, in fact. She's the last to strike for Team Apuzzo. Arsenal on the go. Team Apuzzo trailing in this quarter in the chase for those 20 points for the quarter win. Big face dodge Gilbert. Bouncers on the way, and it's off the post. It had Waters cleanly beaten. A new 60-second shot clock. Miller will swing it. Aldave picked up by Johansen. 1:45 left in the half. Stay with us. Little feature work coming up on Team Johansen netminder Kaylee Waters. Miller to the outside on Pelton. No shooting lane there. Works the flip for Apuzzo, who will conduct matters against block. Quick stick, good save. Aldave stopped by Waters. Another 6 points for Kaylee. She has 4 saves on the night.
As the ball moves from the offensive end to the defensive end, Joe, you had talked a little bit about this second quarter. It's already in the lead right now, 3-1 for Team Johansen. But despite winning the quarter, I know that they want to even the score on this last possession.
Leaderboard totals on the screen. You see Sam Apuzzo has overtaken Taylor Marino for the moment. Marino's side will play in the nightcap on ESPN2 against Katie Glynn, her fellow netminder. This is Grace Griffin in the final 33 seconds of the half. Shot clock is turned off. 4-3 for Team Apuzzo, 3-1 for Team Johansen in this second quarter. Accordingly, trying block on for size. Griffin will handle for Gilbert. Speed dash, works to the inside, and was fouled. Lauren Gilbert must be a handful to cover with that kind of acceleration.
She is so quick and shifty, and she explodes off of her dodge, which I do expect for her to have a quick takeoff off of this 8-meter free position. In Athletes Unlimited, there's only one spot. It's right at the center.
One-on-one against Waters. Gilbert fires. She pumped that one wide. Still time with which to work in the half, but you better move it quickly. 4 seconds to go. Cordingley tries to stuff. Waters the save, and she'll squeeze down on that loose ground ball to end the opening half. Team Johansen, though, winning the second quarter, so we have split the 20 points per frame as we are done with 20 minutes overall, and Team Apuzzo in orange has the 4-3 advantage this Thursday. The shadows starting to lengthen here at USA Lacrosse headquarters as the two teams square off. Fortunato loves to fire from 2, and it was her 2 that made a difference in that second quarter. Apuzzo has the lead 4-3. Stay right there with us. A feature on Kaylee Waters to follow from Sparks, Maryland. Young lacrosse players perfecting their shot on the grounds here at USA Lacrosse headquarters. We played 20 minutes. Team Apuzzo has a 4-3 advantage over Team Johansen. Team Apuzzo had the first 4 goals of the game, the last 3 points belonging to Team Johansen. Folks, we want you here at USA Lacrosse headquarters. Don't miss your chance to see all the excitement in person. Join us Saturday. We honor the USA Lacrosse national team, and after the game, kids will get to shoot on goal. Tickets available today at auprosports.com/tickets. In this game, we love watching Kaylee Waters at work, the goalie with a great personality. She's not afraid to be philosophical. The feed, great save, Waters. She stonewalled Apuzzo from point blank.
I actually thought of a mantra for myself while I was at the World Championship. Don't sweat the small stuff, but celebrate the little things. The secret is just giving it your all, and you always got to believe. All of us have experienced, downfalls in lacrosse, but we stick with it and always believe in yourself, even if things feel like they're in the down or you can't see forward about it. Like, find the little things to celebrate.
Kaylee Waters this season, you see the goals against average and save percentage numbers, but when you talk about Kaylee Waters, she's number 1 all time when it comes to stat points over 2 seasons, and she has routinely been receiving those MVP votes that skyrocket her up any Athletes Unlimited leaderboard. We will step away. We are done with 2 quarters. It's a 4-3 advantage for Team Apuzzo. Courtney Martinez-Connor joins me on the other side. We'll share highlights in a few moments. Folks admiring all the great Athletes Unlimited athletes, whether it be basketball, volleyball, lacrosse, softball. We are enjoying lacrosse tonight after 20 minutes. Team Apuzzo on top of Team Johansen. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez-Connor with you. Court's a 5-time national champion at Maryland. And Courtney, we've seen very good ball movement in the opening 2 quarters of play. Plenty of assists going on. What have you liked most about the playmaking?
I think the fact that all of these players are being unselfish. They recognize that if you share the ball, good things will come from it. And obviously, most of the goals, the only one that wasn't was the 2-pointer, have all been assisted. So I think they're putting on their best hats right now, and that means playing team lacrosse.
What's interesting is that Sam Apuzzo has a great reputation for being a good feeder. She's also the leading goal scorer in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse's young history. Here she is, setting up again.
Sam Apuzzo always makes sure to put herself in the right place at the right time. Dempsey Arsenault, her longtime best friend, has the ball, and Sam's vision, she sees the open space on the field, so she knows when and where to cut. It's just a matter of timing it, and then her wherewithal to have that ball, receive it. It was a rocket pass inside. by her teammate Dempsey Arsenault, and she was still able to finish easily.
There's another thing that we know for sure about Athletes Unlimited lacrosse play, and it's that the goalies rise up time after time. And in this game, we've seen two good ones, Kaylee Waters and definitely Britt Reed.
Britt Reed, I love watching her. She plays a little bit of a different style than what we generally see on the field. Sometimes goalkeepers like to hold their line, but she can get out far. She can surprise those attacking players. That save right there was made well outside of the goal circle, so she can hold her line when needed, but she can come out and surprise the attackers as well, and that's what makes her such a good keeper.
For every goalie save, the individual player gets 6 points on their leaderboard total. These are the first half numbers through 20 minutes. The score is tight. Everything else is close, as you might imagine.
Everything else is close except for the draw controls. When you see 6 for Team Apuzzo, 2 for Johansen. And a large part of that due to Sam Apuzzo putting herself on the draw from the very beginning. We've seen in past games where she's been a captain, where she waits and see how the game develops. But it's the final week. She wants to make sure she's giving her team the best opportunity, and that means she's taking the draw.
In big games such as this, a 2-point goal can really swing momentum. We saw a 2-pointer earlier today, and no surprise, 15 in the blue, Courtney Fortunato beating Britt Reed and making this a 4-3 game as we go to the third quarter. Coming back from the dressing room, Team Apuzzo has the 4-3 advantage thanks to that big opening quarter. Team Johansen turning the tables in the second frame. The Fortunato 2-pointer making a big difference in this contest. It's 4-3 as we get set to start the second half. Lacrosse fans, listen up. Athletes Unlimited would love for you to win an autographed lacrosse ball signed by Charlotte North. Go to auprosports.com. That's /sweepstakes to register to win today. That's auprosports.com/sweepstakes. You can register, win today, no purchase necessary. Other restrictions, though, may apply. Young lacrosse fans watching their heroes at work in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Among them, Caroline Wakefield wearing a microphone for us as we go into the game with Air National Guard.
Lizzie, I'm with you at X. Lizzie, hey, be ready to push. Okay. Watch pick. Stay on. So take sides. I got her. I'm getting through. Yeah. Sorry, I just saw that happening. Yeah. I was ready for her to dodge.
Sometimes a great defender has to fall on her sword there, and Caroline Wakefield did just that. We've been listening to her throughout. We understand that she's got a new coaching job coming up at Arizona State, and I have a feeling she'll do very, very well working with the defenders there.
You know, I think it's great. Athletes Unlimited has created so many friends, people that used to be just competitors. They didn't know one another. She's going out there along with Hallie Warden, Haley Warden, and former Taryn Bentoff, who played here in season 1. Her sister is continuing to play in Athletes Unlimited. But the friendships, I think, that are made here in this Pro League, all the players talk about it over and over again. They can't wait until the next season's ready to begin.
Wakefield having some fun there with Sam Geyers back. Wakefield all-time #1 when it comes to ground balls. Sydney Watson's 27 in the blue for Team Johansen. Inside the draw circle with Sam Apuzzo. Apuzzo, who began the day #2 on the leaderboard. Taylor Marino started the day, the netminder #1. She'll play in the nightcap off of a caused turnover there. It's Gilbert getting an offensive touch for Andy Aldave. Aldave, 51 in the orange, playing her first ever game as a professional. She's the injury replacement for Jamie Ortega, one Tar Heel stepping in for another. Of course, Aldave was outstanding during 4 years of play in South Bend with Notre Dame. Arsenault, the former BC Eagle, jogging against Johansen, who played collegiately at Southern Cal. Just tiptoeing into this third quarter now. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez-Connor. Big shout out of thanks to all the men and women in our technical crew. Just past the bottom of the hour with you in Sparks, Maryland. Some 20 miles north of Baltimore. Through the weave with O'Donnell. Katie outside the 8-meter key. Score from beyond that arc. 2 points for your team, 16 for yourself. Shot clock's at 2. Arsenal doesn't realize that, and this is a shot clock violation against Team Apuzzo.
Oftentimes we see attackers try and take a quick shot that's eaten up easily by the goalkeepers, and that's often why we see many of them at the top of the leaderboard when they're able to make quick saves or run the ball out off of a wide shot.
Every situation matters in Athletes Unlimited, so with that shot clock violation, everybody on the defensive side just picked up 2 points for their leaderboard. Pareca on the go. We've had 8 turnovers for Team Apuzzo so far in this one. Fortunato relaying for Johansen. The captain wears 7 in the blue. Beautiful day and night for lacrosse. Temperatures in the 80s. Mastriani feeds. Fortunato fires, and that was rejected by Reed. She saw it all the way from long range for her 5th stop in the ball game. Lizzie Colson, who was a captain last week, has 3 assists this year. The defender's not afraid to be offensive.
You know, I wouldn't mind seeing her more in the midfield role. We saw her as a captain. I thought maybe she would allow herself to play a little bit more midfield, but she can be a threat at both ends of the field. She scored a few goals in World Championships.
Apuzzo from down under. She scores. 2nd on the day for Sam Apuzzo.
Sam Apuzzo, as we see her talking with her team right there in the huddle, she always has something to say. Assistant coach at Boston College, her alma mater. But we see back and forth. She's really working defensive player Becca Block in the blue jersey. She's sizing up what she has. From left to right, split dodges, the nice quick roll and shooting off of it as we watch her setting this up yet again. And the nice quick spin, taking a shot as she's turning, so very important, so that way the goalkeeper does not have time to see where that ball is coming from, as we could see from that net cam.
7 multi-goal games for Apuzzo this season. 17 tallies overall. She began the night number 1 in assists, and you can see that she has climbed among the goal-scoring leaders. 2 rookies setting the pace in Lauren Gilbert and Charlotte North. We will see the great 88 Charlotte North later tonight on ESPN2. Draw control for Mastriani, who's been among the league leaders in that throughout the summertime work. She will share the ball with McPartland, and then Sydney Watson. Watson, 27 in the blue. Her bust-out game was 4 goals against Team Johansen in week 3. Shayna Pareca gets it right back into the cross of Watson, who'll work the sweep. Watson, who played collegiately at UConn, the daughter of 2 retired police officers. Fortunato feeds. It gets away from Mastriani. She was looking right into the sun. Mastriani thinking 2, feeds. A little bit tall for Geyer's back. 12 seconds to shoot. This is a turnover, though, back to Team Apuzzo. With a lone goal in the quarter coming from its captain, Team Apuzzo has the lead in that quest for 20 points to win each frame. At the line, it looks like there was a timeout called as Wakefield was in trouble. There was a timeout called by Team Apuzzo facilitator Renee Olson. It sets us off to a commercial break. Get you back for the final 6.5 minutes of the third. In just a few moments, the captain taking charge. Youngsters in the stands, all wearing their lacrosse uniforms. Great to see it. Team Apuzzo has the only goal in the third quarter, and as a result, a 5-3 lead in this Athletes Unlimited game number 19 of 24 on the season. Tomorrow, we've got Premier Lacrosse League action, PLL play from Utah. Atlas and Whipsnakes at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Water Dogs and Redwoods also on the card. Then Saturday, Chaos and Archers, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, followed by Cannons and Chrome, all 4 games exclusively on ESPN+. Whenever I think Archers, I think Arrows Up with some St. Anthony's High School alums, Will Manny and Tom Schreiber. As we carry right along with Business and Athletes Unlimited, if you're joining us a little late, Team Apuzzo jumped out a 4-0 advantage, Courtney. Griffin, Apuzzo, O'Donnell, and Aldave all back-to-back. Then, in the blue, Team Johansen rallies in the second. Sam Apuzzo, though, giving her team some breathing room early on in the third. There are great offensive players all over the field. We know that. There are also tip-top defenders. And this year, Athletes Unlimited, Courtney, is proud to name an all-defensive team.
When you look at each and every one of these players, Taylor Moreno, a goalkeeper, Becca Block, Emma Trenchard, Lizzie Colson, all come from strong backgrounds. Syracuse, UNC, Maryland. They're just so fundamentally sound. They move their feet. They aren't sacrificing body positioning to go for checks. Very disciplined.
Here's the thing, Courtney. Those are the 4 who make the all-defensive team. I could give you 4 or 5 more who are just as worthy and deserving. Midfielders, defenders, and goalies were eligible, and the all-defensive team was named by vote of all the players and facilitators this season. Those 4, among those 4, we will crown the Geico Defensive Player of the Year on Sunday at the conclusion of play in this Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 2. 56 players in residence. We crown 1 champion Sunday when it's all done. Arsenault gets inside. She scores! Dempsey Arsenault.
And right on cue, when I talk about the importance of holding body positioning, moving your feet, being tough defensively, we see this nice little stutter, and the overhead check, going for the stick, losing body positioning, is what gave a lane to Dempsey Arsenault. We see again her quick split, going towards the middle of the field where there's a lot of space. I like how she changed the level of her shot. But right here, she protected her stick very well, but defensively, if they would have held position, maybe she wasn't going to be able to take a shot.
Courtney, that's what I'd like you to add on about. She did protect the stick well because Amanda Johansen's very tall defensively, good over the head with checks. What is it that's the key to protecting the ball after you make that move?
You know, putting your body between your defender and your stick, or you can choke up on your stick, and right then Dempsey Arsenault used her body more than that choking up on her stick, creating a smaller frame. But she definitely did a great job. Anytime you have a taller player matched up with a player who's shorter than them, taller player always has the advantage.
Couple of markers for Team Apuzzo in less than 90 seconds, giving them a 2-0 advantage in the race for those 20 points in this third quarter, and doubling up Team Johansen overall in the game. Miller will glide and finesse her way to the offensive end. Kerrigan Miller, who spent her graduate season of eligibility with North Carolina, former Pac-12 Midfielder of the Year at Southern Cal. There's a team meeting apparently on the sideline, waiting to see who comes up with the ground ball. The officials will confer.
Amanda Johansen, the captain for her team, she's the one who was telling her facilitator to call a timeout as her player had possession. There's no covers, essentially, so the ball was in the stick of a Johansen teammate. They're discussing right now, is that actual possession because she was just covering the ball?
Nearing the midway mark of the third quarter, Lynn Bowers conducting that discussion. Liz Brush is there as well as Ronnie Anton. Erica Leslie. This is week 4, the final week of regular season play, and throughout the run in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 2. Game 19 of 24 total. As we look back to the work along the sideline and the commotion between Johansen and Miller. Kerrigan says it's hard for me to work without my cross.
Whereas the ball was beneath Amanda Johansen's stick, and that's what she was hoping counted for her having possession.
So the inadvertent whistle comes, and the officials will place the ball with possession to Team Apuzzo. Sam getting that acknowledgement from official Ronnie Anton. Apuzzo and Arsenault have struck here in the third quarter. improving Team Apuzzo's lead to 6-3. They play the first of the two games for us tonight. Team Marino and Team Glenn to follow. Lauren Gilbert. Split dodge, fires, that's kicked out. That actually hit the defender. That shot struck Meg Dowdy, who went down quickly to the turf. Meg bouncing right back up. It'll take more than that to injure her. And this is going to be a yellow card against Lauren Gilbert.
Nevertheless, that ball hurts. It's a rubber ball, but it is dense. And when you take a shot to the body, you definitely feel it. And we see right there, it hit her left foot, which is why it's just a yellow. If the ball hit a defensive player above the knee, that's a red card. We do not have 3 seconds or shooting space within Athletes Unlimited. So very unique, but the onus comes to the attacker. They need to know when and where to shoot.
The high-scoring Gilbert without a point so far in the game as we near the midway mark of the third quarter. Meg Dowdy, who missed some time in pool play during the World Championships with Team USA. Lauren Gilbert looking on from the sidelines. She lives on a lake. She's looking forward to some water skiing and paddleboarding soon enough. Once we're done with Athletes Unlimited, she has had a fabulous rookie season.
At this point, Team Johansen is playing a 6-on-4. So 6-on-6 means there's already more space than traditional lacrosse of 7-on-7, but 6-on-5 is great, but 6-on-4 is even better. Move the ball quick, find those open cutters inside.
Two-player up for 22 seconds for the team in blue. Mastriani circles. Scotty Rose Growney skips it on through. It's deflected away from Geyer's back, and it will be Ella Simpkins taking control. Ten miscues now for the team dressed in blue. The two-player up situation will expire right now, and there's still one player short for another 14.
My memory's correct. That was our third 6-on-4 that we've seen this season, and none of the attacking offenses scored in any of those instances. The defense, it's almost like when you have a better sense of urgency, when you know you're 2 players down, you're working that much harder.
This is Gilbert urgently going to goal. Feeds it inside. The quick stick from Moldave didn't find a home. And it winds up in the cross of Kaylee Waters, the starting netminder for Team Johansen. Waters, we mentioned, rose 18 spots on the leaderboard with her work last week. This is the final week and weekend of Athletes Unlimited. For anyone to overtake Sam Apuzzo and Taylor Marino, they'd have to have a monstrous 3-game total point run, but it is doable.
Not only would their teams need to have some big wins, especially a lot of quarter wins, but you need to have Team Apuzzo, especially Sam, not producing offensively and definitely having the least amount of quarter wins as they can.
Geyer's back crunched there as she entered inside the 8-meter key. Sam checking her chiclets. She's about to go for a free position shot after this run-in with Simpkins.
As you see that foul right there, the stick caught her in the neck. That's an immediate yellow card. All the rules within lacrosse are about safety. So she's getting an 8-meter free position. Second one that we've seen today.
Geyer's back will pull the ball away with a fresh 60-second shot clock. 3 and change left in the third quarter. 6-3 for Team Apuzzo in orange. Scotty Rose Growney has won 2-point goal this season. Came back in week 1. Pass to the interior. Great stop. Britt Reed straightening up in the nick of time on Johansen for her 6th stop of the ball game. Britt Reed placing it into the cross of Grace Griffin. Griffin, the only 3-time captain in women's lacrosse ever at the University of Maryland. Spotting the open Sam Apuzzo.
Check the replay in the upper right of your screen. We see that was a quick stick that came out of Johansen's stick. Britt Reed reading it all the way. No pun intended.
Well done by you. I see what you did there.
Thank you.
Aldave hanging out against Mastriani. Those two would have worked against each other in practice this season for Jenny Levy's Tar Heels. Apuzzo checked well by Block. Ball down. Shot clock's at 10. Becca Block with a tremendous speed comes up with a ground ball. She's one of the top 5 all time in ground balls. and last year's Defender of the Year, and this season a member of the All-Defensive Team. 2 minutes with which to work in quarter 3. In this third quarter, Team Apuzzo in orange has the 2-0 advantage. If you win the quarter, you get 20 for everybody on your roster. Scotty Rose Growney looking over top of the D. Supplied by Simpkins. Shayna Parekha, no stranger to the 2-point shot. She works in, makes the flip. Fortunato, who has a 2 already. There's Mastriani with a rocket from deep, pinging the top corner.
Just when you see the game start to seem like the quarter is going to belong to Team Apuzzo, a quick 2-point goal ties things up 2-2 for quarter 3. You see the ball moving well, nice little flip from one teammate to the next. And this is going to be close, but I believe they're calling it a 2-point goal on the field. Ali Mastriani, right when I was about to say she can do such a great job of slicing and dicing through the defensive players. She's looking at her range right now.
Was her foot on the line as she released that ball? If it is, it's only a 1. If it's behind the line, if there's daylight, this is worth 2.
And there was absolute daylight. I'd give it a 2 to 3 inches. Ali Mastriani, while she may be limited and not as active as what we've generally seen her dodging from the top or transitioning the ball with a ton of speed, she knew when she had time and room, and that was a perfect opportunity to take a 2-point power shot.
Tremendous firepower from Mastriani, who has goals in 9 of her 10 games in this her rookie season in Athletes Unlimited. Inside the draw circle, Apuzzo opposite of Watson. The ball raked loose. Draw control is worth 2 points. Dowdy didn't get it. It comes up for Dempsey Arsenault in the final 90 seconds of quarter 3. So right now in this frame, we are 2 points apiece. If the quarter remains tied, the 20 from the third would slide over and be available, making the fourth worth 40 points. Gilbert would like to change that. Gets the jump on Pelton. Gilbert inside, fires from the angle. Waters with the easy stop there at the post. She's a long way from the cooker, though. Apuzzo thinking 2 with the empty net. She scores! Waters' hustle on D cost her there. Apuzzo nets the 2.
Kaylee Waters, I like the risk that she takes on the field. We saw her do it in World Championships where she battled for a ground ball and made it back in time to the goal cage to make a save. But Sam Apuzzo, so very accurate with her shooting. She wasn't just throwing this ball at the goal. As soon as Lauren Gilbert battled for the ground ball, Sam Apuzzo with the nice little bouncer, she made sure to put that one away, and 2 points at that.
The all-time leading goal scorer in Athletes Unlimited strikes again. Sam Apuzzo with the empty net 2-pointer. That's her 3rd career 2-pointer. She has the hat trick tonight. It's her 2nd of the season. When that ball dents the twine, it's 18 for Apuzzo on this campaign to go along with an assist. And Waters still stinging inside that goal circle, catching her breath. What is now an 8-5. Team Apuzzo lead with a minute to go. And Team Apuzzo leading the third quarter 4-2. Mastriani with the draw control, chased by O'Donnell. We hear a whistle and a timeout called for. Team Johansen facilitator is Nicole Flores. When I say facilitator, Courtney, you know exactly what I mean. Helper, advisor, support staff. You practically have that line memorized, don't you? And we thank all of them for their efforts throughout. They have been terrific this summer once again, helping out in practice, helping out in games, helping out at the draft table, etc.
You know, it's difficult when you have a captain and they're on the field, whether it's a goalkeeper who's on one end of the field or even a midfielder. Oftentimes you're out of breath. It's tough to call a play in or call a timeout, and that's where they need to step in, and they certainly have, especially what we've seen from today.
Sam Apuzzo directing the huddle there, and throughout we have known that Sam is an attacker who makes a huge impression. Apuzzo, topside, question mark, fires, scores!
She is an absolute threat on this field, and she is captaining this team right now.
I think Sam is just, unbelievably talented. She's a mentor. She's, she was obviously my coach, but, now she's also my teammate.
Coming off the World Championship, you have Kayla, Charlotte, and Sam was like our unsung hero.
I can't even explain how much I've learned from her just watching, and then, getting to really be coached one-on-one by her was just a dream come true.
I told her last week, when I see you running at me, I feel like I'm gonna drop the ball because I'm scared. I just think she does all the little things, and she's a great teammate.
Apuzzo lets it go. She scores!
Cannot ever count out Sam Apuzzo.
We're like sisters at this point. We met at BC, and we've just had such a great connection on and off the field. We were roommates for 3 years. She is one of my friends that I can have a best time and laugh, but then also very serious questions, go to her for advice.
She's a one-of-a-kind, talent, person, leader, mentor, and role model to so many, including myself.
I'm kind of speechless because I don't think I realize I can have that effect on people. I guess it's who I am, and that's kind of cool to see and kind of hear about that.
We agree with everybody who weighed in there on Sam Apuzzo. Courtney, she attacks this game with so much pace and a great mind for the sport. It is her team out in front in the final minute of the third quarter. Team Johansen is the team in blue trying to carve into the deficit. Fortunato floats it over the top. This gets away from Shayna Parekha, nearly an over and back. Shot clock is turned off with 28 seconds to go. In the chase for those 20 quarter points, Apuzzo's team has the lead in the third, 4-2. Shayna Parekha trying for two, wide of Reed as she slipped that one past Griffin, wide of the goal. Fortunato winning the backup there, closest to the ball where and when it leaves the field. Mastriani again for two, answered by Reed. Britt Reed with the stop. Her squad will take an 8-5 advantage to quarter number 4 in just a few moments. Reed's save totals up to 7. Team Apuzzo, all 14 players picking up 20 more points on their leaderboard total. 3/4 of the way home in this opening game on Thursday night. 8-5, Team Apuzzo. Players and fans have been bathed in sunshine on this Thursday. An 8-5 lead for Team Apuzzo. As we near the end of the third quarter, we've come to that conclusion. We're getting set to start the fourth. Team Apuzzo taking quarters 1 and 3, banking 40 points as a result. We're about to do a little chair chat with the likes of Sarah Cooper. And Sarah, when we were talking about a month ago at Media Day, you mentioned how much of a mentor Ella Simpkins was to you. In what ways was she?
She was always older than me, so she kind of taught me the ropes. If I had any questions, I could always go to her. She's a great role model. She hustles really hard. She's a really hard player. She's aggressive. She's physical, and she's a great person.
Sarah, what's it like to play in your hometown here, Women's Professional League in Maryland?
It's such an amazing experience, especially it being right in my hometown. I've seen a lot of my friends here, which has been really nice, and I've had a lot of support, so it's been great.
Sarah, you guys have played a lot of lacrosse. How has the tempo been in this game now in week 4? How are you holding up?
Good. Today's game's been really fast. It looks really good, and I think people are ready to go out with a bang for the end of the season.
Sarah, we appreciate your time. Thanks very much for weighing in with us.
Thanks for having me.
Sarah Cooper played collegiately at Syracuse, number 2 all-time when it comes to caused turnovers there. Ella Simpkins, her mentor, Katie O'Donnell, who struck in the opening quarter, Courtney. It was a 3-0 advantage for Team Apuzzo. Sam started the day number 2 on the overall leaderboard. The chase to be one champion comes Sunday. After all the games are concluded, all the MVP voting is tabulated, we will crown an individual champion. We'll hand out 4 total medals, name a Defensive Player of the Year. We've already clued you into the all-defensive team this summer in Athletes Unlimited. Down the stretch we go as we hit the top of the hour. Joe and Courtney with you from USA Lacrosse headquarters. Shouting out thanks to all the men and women in our technical crew. We're playing a man down today. Casey, thinking about you. Hope you're doing well. Fortunato turns against Wakefield. Play it back behind. Geyer's back, turns the corner. Needed to take one more step. Reed was waiting.
That's absolutely right. When you are at goal line extended, you want to give yourself as much angle as possible. Quite a few of her shots, just one more step is all it takes.
Watson finessing her way to the goal circle, but just lost it out of her cross at the last instant. Reed and Waters have gone the distance in the nets in this game. The follow-up nightcap this Thursday, a pair of captain keepers, Taylor Marino and Katie Glynn. That'll follow our action over on ESPN2 beginning at 8 o'clock Eastern. Setting sun, lengthening the shadows here at USA Lacrosse HQ. Early stages of the fourth. O'Donnell cut off there by Johansen. Griffin will roll, draw two, feed. O'Donnell ran out of real estate. Apuzzo finds O'Donnell on the sneak. She was checked, and this is a turnover back to Amanda Johansen. 10 miscues on the day for Team Apuzzo. Likewise for Team Johansen. Each of them playing their opening game of this weekend. Team Apuzzo gets Team Glynn on Saturday at 1. Team Johansen plays Team Marino 3:30 on Saturday.
We're seeing the sun as a factor when you're on one part of the field. Very difficult to see where that ball is going.
Feed inside. Growney was tied up there with her step for step. The defender, Lizzie Colson, not able to come up with a ground ball, however. Shot clock down to 15. Fortunato against Wakefield. Johansen tries the two, bowling that one to the feet of Reed. She handled that one pretty easily. Wakefield to clear. You have 20 seconds to get it across the midline in Athletes Unlimited. The roster sizes, 14 per team. We've changed them all 4 weeks of Athletes Unlimited with a Monday night captain's draft, and we thank John Brickley and the crew in Connecticut for all of their work throughout the summer. Gilbert not going to get there in time. This is a turnover to Team Johansen with 7 minutes to operate in the fourth. Long range drive, answered again by Reed. She, even though she is in full shadow, saw that one cleanly for her 9th stop. End to end comes Colson. Teaming up now with Arsenal. In the quarter, we have yet to have a point on the board. 20 points are available for whomever wins the quarter. It's an 8-5. Apuzzo lead in the orange.
You know, I like the thought process that Team Johansen, they're looking for twos, but they have plenty of time, so they can take some more looks at the goal cage in closer, because when you continue to take those outside shots, the goalkeeper, Britt Reed, she's ready and waiting.
Aldave has Dowdy hung up. Now she'll flush her out. Sam Apuzzo, two-person game with Gilbert. Gilbert takes the exchange, and she muscled that one wide of the goal. Shot clock's at 3. O'Donnell bringing in off the end line. This will be a violation against Team Apuzzo. Dowdy starts it back. Block. Those smooth strides, bringing the ball from defense to offense with 5.5 to go in regulation time. If we're tied at the end of 40 minutes, Courtney, a 3-minute sudden victory overtime would unfold.
And as players are looking to move up the leaderboard, they need for Team Apuzzo to not have as many quarter wins as possible. She already has 2 on the day.
Fortunato back behind the cage with a screen set by Scotty Rose Growney. Little question mark dodge. Hawked all the way on the perimeter by Colson. As usual, 35 Orange working feverishly on the defensive end. Reed straightens up to make that stop there on a weak drive from McPartland. Didn't have a lot of starch on that. Clearing time for Wakefield, who's wearing the mic for us tonight and has been taking us into the game with Air National Guard. Kerrigan Miller trots ahead with 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go.
If the team in blue can continue to come up with defensive stops here in the fourth quarter, they just need to make sure that they're doing their job on the offensive end of the field. That's having good looks at the goal cage, not giving, we call it popcorn shots, to the goalkeeper, making sure they're hard, they're fast, they're in tight, and again, they have plenty of time to chip away one at a time. They aren't necessarily at the point where they only need to be looking at 2-pointers.
Gilbert fires. Answered there by Waters. The huge rebound. Chasing it down on the scoop at Sam Apuzzo. She shoveled that one beautifully. Now with a fresh 60-second shot clock. 7 stops for Waters. For every save she makes, she gets 6 points. Climbing throughout the Geico leaderboard was Waters last weekend. Save totals now at the bottom of the screen. Arsenault will take this one for a ride. We have yet to have a goal put up on the board in this fourth frame. Griffin would like to change that. Grace for Apuzzo. Right there in her face is Becca Block. Arsenault picked up by Mastriani. Couple of split dodges to a re-dodge for Gilbert. Drawing a double. Apuzzo floats this one. Kick it back behind the cage. That's going to head wide, taken off the end line. And we hear a whistle now, a timeout on the field. Just over 3 minutes to play. We'll go down the stretch late in regulation with you. Team Apuzzo, number 14 in the orange, in the driver's seat, getting late. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN is brought to you by Aspiration, the global leader in sustainability as a service. There are 20 points on the line for whomever wins the fourth quarter, and as you can tell, bottom of the screen, nobody's put a point on the board. It's 8-5 Team Apuzzo, as it was after 3. Joe Beninati and Courtney Martinez. Connor with you in court. We're going to look at our Geico defensive play of the game in this one. Amanda Johansen had a hand in it.
A lot of pressure right there applied. Meg Dowdy, Amanda Johansen forcing that bad pass to be made, and Dempsey Arsenault not able to handle the initial pass.
These teams, unique pro leagues for the world's best athletes in Athletes Unlimited. Season number 2 of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Athletes Unlimited launching back in 2020 with softball being held in Chicago. Season 3 of Athletes Unlimited Softball going on and resuming week 3 tomorrow. In this one, we have an 8-5 count in favor of Team Apuzzo. Our Sunday night baseball matchup, Yankees and Red Sox finishing up a 3-game set at Fenway. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Coverage beginning at 6 Eastern with baseball tonight. Sunday night countdown, Michael K. and A-Rod having their K-Rod presentation on ESPN2. A special guest, Derek Jeter, will join them. Coming up on Sunday, 7 Eastern, we are working to the final 3 minutes and 13 seconds of regulation time. Athletes Unlimited game number 19 of 24. Final Thursday of the regular season slate. Team Marino and Team Glenn will be warming up shortly for their 8 p.m. Eastern time start over on ESPN2. O'Donnell running for cover now. Remember, 20 points on the line for the team that wins the fourth. Neither team has put a goal on the board just yet.
At this point, Team Apuzzo, they're just trying to run down as much of the clock as they can.
Gilbert fires, turned away by Waters, and she just does trap it in the goal circle. Kaylee Waters with her 8th stop, patiently bringing the ball back ahead. The team in blue needs 3 points to tie. Mastriani will sprinkle it outside for Scotty Rose Growney. Shayna Pareca, 41 in the blue, former Florida Gator captain. Fortunato on the hop against Wakefield. Looking for Shayna Pareca. Ball down, belongs to Mastriani. Allie has a two-pointer in this game today. Split dodge gets to her left. Geyer's back, hovering inside. That's Rose Growney, denied by Reed. 1:45 to go. And now if you're Team Apuzzo, I would imagine, Courtney, you want to slow tempo here and shorten that time remaining.
If they utilize as much of this clock as possible, they will be able to get the ball back after one more possession for Team Johansen, and that's best case scenario. One possession for Team Johansen unless they can cause a turnover early here.
Very odd, a scoreless quarter right now. Nobody has put a ball past a netminder in the fourth. Roll dodge Miller, 70 seconds left. Leaderboard tally up to the minute. Cumulative from week 1 through now week 4. Aldave takes it off the end line, 12 seconds to shoot. Defensive positioning for Dowdy, the pass for Arsenault. That was broken up by McPartland, 3 seconds to shoot. Shot clock violation against Team Apuzzo, 2 points for the defenders now for Team Johansen as we are in the final minute. Shot clock is turned off. Team Johansen can win the quarter if they get on the board. They need 3 points to tie the game. Shayna Pareca loping towards that 8-meter key. Score from behind it. You get 2 for your team, 16 for yourself. Geyer's back. Little hitch move, fires one wide of Reed. To the end line, it's going to be Britt Reed's ball. There was nobody there to back it up. That's going to do it for Team Apuzzo. Sam Apuzzo came into today number 2 on the leaderboard. Her team is about to bank 45 points for the win. A lengthy, scoreless drought, almost 12 minutes, in fact, to close this game, and it's over. Team Apuzzo by an 8-5 margin.
Team Apuzzo jumping out to that early lead in the first quarter, scoring 3 goals that proved to be the difference maker. We saw a lot of 2-point shots in this game. The sun was a factor, but holding on to the lead, Team Apuzzo, I think their game plan is what set them apart.
Victorious Team Apuzzo, happy on their way to the sideline. We'll chat with one of the victors when we return. Team Apuzzo, an 8-5 victor in Sparks, Maryland. Big points for Team Apuzzo by virtue of an 8-5 decision over Team Johansen in the first game of this weekend, the final weekend of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 2. Team Apuzzo, an 8-5 winner over Team Johansen after a scoreless fourth quarter. Courtney, we're about to show an aspiration assist play, and throughout this season, Gilbert and Apuzzo have gone together very well in lockstep.
You know, it's about finding the connections on the field. What I love about this assist from Lauren Gilbert, it was a hustle play. It wasn't just seeing her teammate, but she had to run that ball down. And then she found her captain, Sam Apuzzo, who had the wherewithal to realize that Kaylee Waters was well outside of her goal cage, and she seamlessly took that shot.
Lauren marching off for every assist during this season's Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse season. Aspiration planting 10 trees. Better than 1,400 now have been committed to, as Team Apuzzo is victorious. The voting going on for MVP, that's being tabulated, and Sam Apuzzo joins us post-game for a chair chat. Sam, you won't find very many 0-0 fourth quarters. How would you describe that one?
Yeah, I think it was a battle of the defense, both sides. It's really unusual to have a scoreless fourth quarter, but I think it just shows how good both defenses and both goalies are playing today.
Sam, how would you characterize that game overall? Obviously, you jumped out to the early lead. It was a bit back and forth, and then you guys were able to hold on to it from the big third quarter.
Yeah, I think we played a very steady game from start to finish. There was some highs and lows, but I think our intensity and our level of execution was steady the entire game from first quarter to the fourth.
Sam Apuzzo joining us, a hat-trick performance, the 2-point goal, and an assist to her credit. All right, Sam, your numbers are skyrocketing now. You'll be number 1 on the leaderboard going into this nightcap. Do you, from time to time, check the scoreboard to see where you stand?
No, the only scoreboard I'm checking is the game, making sure that we're getting our points on the board and we're scoring and we're playing good defense. I don't really think about the leaderboard at all.
Sam, after games, before you go play on Saturday, do you have a film session with your team? How do you best prepare to then propel yourself and your team to have another 3-0 week?
Yeah, I mean, all of us watch the games after us and before us throughout the weekend. So just watching what's going on in the game, seeing what people are doing and how people are playing. But I think this team is really balanced, really great IQ and very intense. So I think we only can watch so much film or watch so many of the games. It's going to be us executing each day.
Sam Apuzzo, another outstanding performance. We appreciate your time. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
The winning captain does it again. She is 9-1 in her 10 games this season. Sam Apuzzo, brilliant, as those who joined her wearing orange, winning by the final score of 8-5. For Courtney Martinez-Connor, for all the men and women in our technical crew, Joe Beninati thanking you for your time. Game 2 of the night over on ESPN2. It'll be an 8 p.m. Eastern time start. That's the battle of the keepers and captains, Team Marino against Team Glenn. In this game, Apuzzo, the driving force with Arsenal. Her squad, an 8-5 winner from Sparks, Maryland.